Varun Sivaram, Taming the Sun, Innovations to Harness Solar Energy and Power the Planet, the MIT Press. Step into the intricate world of solar energy with Varun Sivaram's Taming the Sun, as he highlights the significance of transforming the global energy system to combat climate change. This book examines the challenges of scaling up solar power, such as plummeting value, high expenses, and limited R&D investment. You'll discover innovative solutions for materials, grid management, and financial backing, as well as cases for new power infrastructures, the need for decentralized power, flexible base plants, and creating multinational grids. Taming the Sun paves the way to a zero-carbon future by revealing the promising technologies in the solar market and the importance of international collaboration.
Scaling solar for a carbon-free future. The global economy must reduce carbon emissions to avoid catastrophic climate change. The quickest solution is to scale up renewable energy, but scaling solar presents challenges. While China leads in manufacturing solar panels, solar's value falls as it penetrates more markets, resulting in lower revenues and discouraging investments. Power purchase agreements, PPAs, protect upfront investment in large installations, but financiers find it difficult to justify subsidies as values fall and upfront costs remain high. Solar companies invest little in research and development, leading to stagnation in the industry. The solution is to innovate in materials, grid building, financing, and management of solar. If solar can address these issues and make the world's energy systems less reliant on carbon-based fuels, 1/3 of the world's electricity could come from renewables, including solar, by 2050, reducing carbon emissions. Solar power investment. Solar PV projects have become reliable and secure investments that provide power for long periods. This has led to the solar sector pushing for tax changes that allow for the inclusion of solar projects in MLPs and REITs. MDBs like the World Bank guarantee loans to mitigate risk for developers who build solar installations. Green bonds represent a vehicle for the issuance of funds expressly for sustainable projects. Institutional investors favor aggregating consumer solar loans into securities. American solar firms finance about half of all solar installations by extending credit to consumers who make monthly payments. Existing power companies are best equipped to scale up solar utilities speedily. CLP, which manages billions of dollars worth of power plants, is swiftly moving into renewable-powered plants to curb carbon intensity. The solar energy dilemma. The shift towards solar energy is threatening the utility companies' traditional business operations as more and more customers become independent from the grid. Government regulations that once supported utility monopolies have relaxed, giving rise to unregulated renewable generators. However, utilities fear the financial impact of net metering, which allows customers to sell power back to the grid, reducing their dependence on the company's services. The rise of home solar energy has led to fewer customers sharing the costs of maintaining the utility grid, sparking the so-called death spiral. Despite the dangers, the transition toward sustainable energy remains critical. The future of off-grid electricity. The pay-as-you-go, PAYG, model of solar power can bring electricity to 3 billion people by 2030, especially in regions with old grids. Peer-to-peer networks in Bangladesh use blockchain technologies, while tariffs and trade barriers impede solar operators in West Africa. Governments should invest in grid upgrades or they won't compete with off-grid deployment and limit financial aid until the sector is up and running. Microgrids that never connect to the main grid should choose direct current, DC, power. Solar produces DC, which batteries can store. Most of the world's energy-efficient items run on DC. Analysts forecast that a PAYG model for off-grid electricity can turn contracts into securities and greatly benefit entrepreneurial companies that operate efficiently and receive payments by phone. Microgrids can extend coverage to wider areas and provide swarm electrification, in which networks rise organically from the bottom up. Solar energy innovations. Achieving 50% solar by 2050 relies on driving down materials costs while innovating energy storage. Perovskite, an affordable and flexible material, holds promise for reaching 50% efficiency, surpassing silicon. Organic solar, quantum dots, and concentrated solar power are also being studied for breakthrough efficiencies. Stable cash flow from distributed solar investment makes it attractive. A decarbonized future requires hydrogen or hydrocarbon fuels with minimal infrastructure retooling. A bold vision for a global energy network. SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son proposes a connected worldwide supergrid to facilitate the exchange of renewable energy. SoftBank has made deals with Russia, South Korea, and China to explore building a Pan-Asian supergrid, and the Nordic Synchronized Area Regional Grid and the US-Canada Grid present models for interconnecting regional power sources. A multinational grid that can transfer energy across borders could reduce the need for energy storage and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. However, political obstacles may hinder the implementation of this ambitious plan. Decentralizing power for a more efficient grid. The centralized grid structure in the utility sector often leads to overbuilding instead of optimizing efficiency. A decentralized power structure with distributed markets could encourage dynamic pricing schemes and smarter, automated ways to manage power flow. Microgrids connected to a main grid with local controls provide the best fail-safe mechanisms and efficiencies. After Hurricane Sandy left New York powerless in 2012, the city planned to build a more resilient, decentralized power grid. Utilities, however, prefer the status quo as it works in their favor. A hybrid system that combines microgrids and long-distance transmission links could be the solution. Crucial steps to achieving a zero-carbon future include translating solar energy to home and industrial heating as well as charging electric vehicles via the smart grid to smooth out demand for intermittent solar. While hydropower currently stores energy better than batteries, there is potential for linking home batteries together to help hedge against blackouts. Elon Musk's vision of merging the electricity industry with car manufacturing may be visionary, but the use of lithium-ion battery storage has limitations. Nevertheless, a more decentralized grid structure, with a focus on efficiency, is the goal. Flexible base energy plants for zero-carbon electricity. The quickest way to achieve zero-carbon electricity is by constructing flexible base energy plants that can generate 43% of power. These plants can fill gaps in intermittent renewable energy flows, and long-term or capacity contracts can provide the necessary financial support. Cogeneration plants can serve high-population areas and fulfill industrial heat requirements. The integration of transportation, heating, and power generation through solar power and heat can create a robust flexible grid. However, current market structures would threaten the nuclear industry. The government should fund research, as it is vital to cross-pollinate pure sciences and applied technologies for the greatest success. The U.S. should lead innovation in renewable technology to avoid future energy dependence on Chinese exports. Innovation is a bipartisan endeavor, and backing out of the Paris Climate Change Agreement would harm the U.S. standing in the world and delay progress in renewable technologies. Moving beyond fossil fuels. Current tax incentives favor solar PV over emerging technologies, hindering progress towards complete reliance on renewable energy. To address this, the MLP Parity Act proposes extending master limited partnerships benefits to solar projects. A carbon tax could fund necessary research to move away from fossil fuels. Congress should eliminate tax subsidies for gas and oil utilities and encourage state funding for regionally relevant projects, such as California's incentive for smart inverters in solar plants. Federal and state investment in long-distance HVDC lines would support solar power and ease power movement to match localized demand.
Sivaram's Taming the Sun concludes by emphasizing the importance of accelerating solar power to sustain our planet and secure a zero-carbon future. The book highlights the challenges to scale solar energy, focusing on the need for innovative materials, grid technologies, and financing strategies. Drawing on examples from around the world, the book offers solutions involving multinational grids, decentralized power systems, and R&D investment. As you close the last pages of Taming the Sun, consider your role in the march towards a sustainable future, where collaboration, cutting-edge technology, and conscious policy decisions are pivotal to achieving powerful breakthroughs in solar innovation.